Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a truly fascinating presentation on holistic wellness by Divish Raghu Gowda and transforming it into a highly practical user manual for upgrading your body and mind. Look, if you're trying to balance school, sports, a heavy workload, or just massive personal goals, finding a sustainable rhythm isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's absolutely essential. So today, we are taking Divish's insights from the Mindset Training Academy and converting them into actionable data you can use every single day.
All right, let's jump right in. Nelson Mandela once said that exercise is the key not only to physical health, but to peace of mind. And we're kicking things off with this quote because it perfectly captures the core thesis of our explainer. Your physical health and your mental state, they are completely intertwined. You literally cannot optimize one while completely ignoring the other.
To truly hit peak performance in today's high-pressure world, we really need to look at wellness through a tech lens. Think of your physical health. Your muscles, your joints, your energy levels as your hardware. It needs maintenance, it needs power, and it needs structural integrity to not break down. Your mental health, on the other hand, is the crucial operating system that runs the whole show. It directs that hardware, processes all the daily inputs, and manages the system's stress levels.
So here is our system boot menu for today. 1. Upgrading your hardware. 2. Optimizing your operating system. 3. Finding your Ikigai. 4. Advanced system conditioning. And finally, 5. Your daily action plan. Let's get to work.
Section 1. Upgrading your hardware. Physical wellness.
Okay, so physical wellness breaks down into 3 very actionable steps that honestly go way beyond just lifting heavy things in a gym. First up is functional training. This is all about core stability and flexibility. Think holding a 1-minute plank or practicing yoga to fix your posture and prevent injuries. Second is the 80% rule. This actually borrows from the Japanese concept of hara hachibu, which means eating only until you're about 80% full. And third is active recovery. If you're training at a really advanced level, say in martial arts or swimming, you absolutely must take strategic deload days to let those muscles repair and prevent total system burnout.
But hey, let me ask you a quick question pulled straight from our source material. We just mentioned that 80% rule. But why exactly does this Japanese concept of stopping when you're 80% full actually improve your daily performance? Take a second and think about it.
Well, the answer is pure biology. Digestion uses a massive amount of energy. If you eat until you're 100% stuffed, your body has to divert critical processing power straight to your stomach to handle all that food. And that means energy is quite literally being stolen away from your muscles and your brain, which is exactly why you get that sluggish post-meal crash.
Okay, here's another great one to test your system knowledge. We hear a ton about biohacking these days, right? But why is something as simple as getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep considered the absolute ultimate performance hack for everyone from pro gamers to elite athletes?
It's because sleep is absolutely not just passive resting. It's a highly active processing window. Sleep is the critical time when your brain actively takes new information, whether that's a really tough coding trick you just figured out or a new karate move, and moves it from your temporary memory directly into permanent storage. Without enough sleep, you're essentially hitting restart on a game without saving your progress.
Now, to literally bulletproof this hardware of yours, you've got to focus on durability. That means building static, bracing strength. Moving fast is great, but holding a static pose, like working your way up to a 3-minute plank or an elbow lever, protects your spine and gives you much better balance during explosive movements. Also, prioritize just 10 minutes a day of active mobility. You see, flexibility is just how far a muscle can stretch, but mobility is how much control you actually have in that stretch. And that control is what prevents your joints from giving out when you're under strain.
Moving on to Section 2, optimizing your operating system, mental wellness. Mental health is definitely not just some abstract concept. It's the actual operating system running your daily life. It is the core control center that determines exactly how you handle stress, how you focus on your goals, and how you react when a massive, unexpected challenge gets thrown your way.
So how do we upgrade it? We've got 3 specific patches to install. First, run a growth mindset. Treat failures, like a frustrating bug in your code or a tough loss in a sparring match, as mere data points rather than personal attacks. Second, do a digital detox. If you spend hours gaming or staring at screens, setting just one single tech-free hour before bed will massively improve your sleep and mental focus. Finally, lean into public speaking. Training in communication builds your internal GUI, your graphical user interface, basically how you present yourself to the world. It actively reduces social anxiety and gives your self-esteem a huge boost.
Section 3. Finding your Ikigai, the ultimate algorithm. You might have heard of the term Ikigai.
It essentially translates to purpose, meaning, and balance. And true balance doesn't come from just grinding and working hard all the time. It comes from perfectly aligning four things: what you love, what you're actually good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. When you get those to overlap, your system runs flawlessly.
Think of your Ikigai as this central processor connecting three main pillars. You need the physical pillar, that's your consistency and training for longevity. You need the mental pillar for continuous learning and adaptability, whether that's in tech or just in life. And crucially, you need the emotional pillar. This relies on strong family and social bonds to create a really robust support system for those big goals of yours.
Section 4. Advanced System Conditioning, Building Resilience.
Look, mental wellness isn't just about feeling great when everything's going your way. It's about keeping your system online when everything around you is crashing. To do that, the source material lays out 3 advanced conditioning tactics so you don't freeze up under high pressure: reviewing your mental game tape, diving into deep work, and mastering targeted breath work.
To actually build this into your routine, you want to start thinking like an elite athlete. First, review your game tape. Take 5 minutes before you go to sleep to debug your day. Find one mistake to learn from and one thing you're grateful for so you stay focused on solutions. Second, try the deep work method. Work in 45-minute blocks with 0 notifications, no phone, no tabs. This trains your brain to enter a flow state, which is incredibly productive and way less stressful than trying to multitask.
And for those really high-stakes moments, like right before a big speech or a massive tournament, you need a manual override switch. That's the 4-7-8 technique. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 7 seconds, and exhale slowly for 8 seconds. This isn't just some placebo mental trick. It physically signals your nervous system to calm down and literally drops your heart rate right on the spot.
Section 5. Your Daily Action Plan, Running the Program.
The golden rule of this entire program: consistency beats intensity every single time. Doing one small positive action, like reading for just 20 minutes or practicing a basic form every day, creates so much more long-term progress than one exhausting, massive effort once a month. But this relies entirely on adaptability. You have to listen to your body. Push for personal records when you have the energy, sure, but rest when your body is screaming for it. That is the true mark of an elite performer.
All right, so here is your ultimate call to action for this explainer. 3 things. 1. Audit your schedule today and block out just one 45-minute deep work session for this week. No interruptions. 2. Practice that 4-7-8 breath tonight before bed so you know exactly what it feels like to shift your nervous system. And 3. Apply the 80% rule at your very next meal. Stop when you're satisfied, not stuffed, and just notice how much better your energy is throughout the afternoon.
I'm going to leave you with this final, incredibly empowering thought from Rupi Kaur to reflect on as you debug your own daily routines. If you were born with the weakness to fall, you were born with the strength to rise. You've got the hardware, and now you have the software updates. The only question left is, how will you upgrade your human operating system today? Thank you so much for joining us on The Explainer.